Tribes east of the Jordan. The families of Reuben and Gad had huge herds of livestock. They saw that the country of Jazer and Gilead was just the place for grazing livestock. And so they came, the families of Gad and of Reuben, and spoke to Moses and Eleazar the priest and the leaders of the congregation, saying, Ataroth, Dibon, Jazer, Nimrah, Heshbon, Elealeh, Sebam, Nebo, and Beon, the country that God laid low before the community of Israel, is a country just right for livestock, and we have livestock. They continued, if you think we've done a good job so far, give us this country for our inheritance. Don't make us go across the Jordan. Moses answered the families of Gad and Reuben, do you mean that you are going to leave the fighting that's ahead to your brothers while you settle down here? Why would you even think of letting the people of Israel down, demoralizing them just as they're about to move into the land God gave them? That's exactly what your ancestors did when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to survey the country. They went as far as the Valley of Eshcol, took one look and quit. They completely demoralized the people of Israel from entering the land God had given them. And God got angry. Oh, did he get angry? He swore, they'll never get to see it, none of those who came up out of Egypt who are 20 years and older will ever get to see the land that I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They weren't interested in following me, their hearts weren't in it. None, except for Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua son of Nun, they followed me, their hearts were in it. God's anger smoked against Israel. He made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years, until that entire generation that acted out evil in his sight had died out. And now here you are, just one more mob of sinners stepping up to replace your ancestors, throwing fuel on the already blazing anger of God against Israel. If you won't follow him, he'll do it again. He'll dump them in the desert and the disaster will be all your fault. They came close to him and said, all we want to do is build corrals for our livestock and towns for our families. Then we'll take up arms and take the front lines, leading the people of Israel to their place. We'll be able to leave our families behind, secure in fortified towns, safe from those who live in the land. But we won't go back home until every Israelite is in full possession of his inheritance. We won't expect any inheritance west of the Jordan, we are claiming all our inheritance east of the Jordan. Moses said, if you do what you say, take up arms before God for battle and together go across the Jordan ready, before God, to fight until God has cleaned his enemies out of the land. Then when the land is secure you will have fulfilled your duty to God and Israel. Then this land will be yours to keep before God. But if you don't do what you say, you will be sinning against God, you can be sure that your sin will track you down. So, go ahead. Build towns for your families and corrals for your livestock. Do what you said you'd do. The families of Gad and Reuben told Moses, we will do as our master commands. Our children and wives, our flocks and herds will stay behind here in the towns of Gilead. But we, every one of us fully armed, will cross the river to fight for God, just as our master has said. So Moses issued orders for them to Eleazar the priest, Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the ancestral tribes of the people of Israel. Moses said, if the families of Gad and Reuben cross the Jordan River with you and before God, all armed and ready to fight, then after the land is secure, you may give them the land of Gilead as their inheritance. But if they don't cross over with you, they'll have to settle up with you in Canaan. The families of Gad and Reuben responded, we will do what God has said. We will cross the Jordan before God, ready and willing to fight. But the land we inherit will be here, to the east of the Jordan. Moses gave the families of Gad, Reuben, and the half-tribe of Manasseh son of Joseph the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land, its towns, and all the territories connected with them, the works. The Gadites rebuilt Dibon, Ataroth, Aroer, Atroth Shophan, Jazer, Gilead, Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran as fortified cities. They also built corrals for their animals. The Reubenites rebuilt Heshbon, Elealeh, and Kiriathaim, also Nebo and Baal-meon and Sebam. They renamed the cities that they rebuilt. The family of Machir son of Manasseh went to Gilead, captured it, and drove out the Amorites who lived there. Moses then gave Gilead to the Machirites, the descendants of Manasseh. They moved in and settled there. Jair, another son of Manasseh, captured some villages and named them Havvoth Jair, Jair's tent camps. Nebo captured Kenath and its surrounding camps. He renamed it after himself, Nebo. Campsites from Ramses to Jordan Jericho. These are the camping sites in the journey of the people of Israel after they left Egypt, deployed militarily under the command of Moses and Aaron. Under God's instruction, Moses kept a log of every time they moved, camp by camp. They marched out of Ramses the day after the Passover. It was the 15th day of the first month. They marched out heads high and confident. The Egyptians, busy burying their firstborn whom God had killed, watched them go. God had exposed the nonsense of their gods. The people of Israel left Ramses and camped at Sukkah, left Sukkah and camped at Etham at the edge of the wilderness, left Etham, circled back to Pi-Hahiroth east of Baal-Zephon. And camped near Migdal, left Pi-Hahiroth and crossed through the sea into the wilderness. 3 days into the wilderness of Etham they camped at Marah, left Marah and came to Elim where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees. They camped there, left Elim and camped by the Red Sea, left the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin, left the wilderness of Sin and camped at Duvka, left Duvka and camped at Alash, left Alash and camped at Rephidim where there was no water for the people to drink, left Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai, left the wilderness of Sinai. And camped at Kibroth Hattova, left Kibroth Hattova and camped at Hazeroth, left Hazeroth and camped at Rithmah, left Rithmah and camped at Rimmon Perez, left Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah, left Libnah and camped at Rissa, left Rissa and camped at Kehilatha, left Kehilatha and camped at Mount Sheper, left Mount Sheper and camped at Harada, left Harada and camped at Machiloth, left Machiloth and camped at Tahat, left Tahat and camped at Terah, left Terah and camped at Mithka, left Mithka and camped at Hashmanah, left Hashmanah and camped at Mosroth, left Mosroth and camped at Bani Jakin, left Bani Jakin and camped at Hor-Haggidgad, left Hor-Haggidgad and camped at Jotbatha, left Jotbatha and camped at Abrona, left Abrona and camped at Ezion-Geber, left Ezion-Geber and camped at Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. After they left Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor at the border of Edom, Aaron the priest climbed Mount Hor at God's command and died there. It was the first day of the 5th month in the 40th year after the people of Israel had left Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. The Canaanite king of Arad, he ruled in the Negev of Canaan, heard that the people of Israel had arrived. They left Mount Hor and camped at Zalmanah, left Zalmanah and camped at Punan, left Punan and camped at Abath, left Abath and camped at Eabarim on the border of Moab, left Eim and camped at Dibon Gad, left Dibon Gad and camped at Almon Diblathaim, left Almon Diblathaim and camped in the mountains of Abarim, across the river, within sight of Nebo. After they left the mountains of Abarim they camped on the plains of Moab at Jordan Jericho. On the plains of Moab their camp stretched along the banks of the Jordan from Beth Shemoth to Abel Shittim, Acacia Meadow. God spoke to Moses on the plains of Moab at Jordan Jericho, "Tell the people of Israel, when you cross the Jordan into the country of Canaan, drive out the native population before you, destroy their carved idols, destroy their cast images. Level their worship mounds so that you take over the land and make yourself at home in it. I've given it to you. It's yours. Divide up the land by lot according to the size of your clans. Large clans will get large tracts of land, small clans will get smaller tracts of land. However the lot falls, that's it. Divide it up according to your ancestral tribes. But if you don't drive out the native population, everyone you let stay there will become a cinder in your eye and a splinter in your foot. They'll give you endless trouble right in your own backyards. And I'll start treating you the way I plan to treat them." Land inheritance. God spoke to Moses, "Command the people of Israel. Tell them, when you enter Canaan, these are the borders of the land you are getting as an inheritance. Your southern border will take in some of the wilderness of Zin where it touches Edom. It starts in the east at the Dead Sea, curves south of Scorpion Pass and onto Zin, continues south of Kadesh Barnea, then to Hazar Adar and onto Azman, where it takes a turn to the northwest to the brook of Egypt and onto the Mediterranean Sea. Your western border will be the Mediterranean Sea. Your northern border runs on a line from the Mediterranean Sea to Mount Hor, and from Mount Hor to Lebo Hamath, connects to Zedad, continues to Ziphron, and ends at Hazar Enan. This is your northern border. Your eastern border runs on a line from Hazar Enan to Shephem. The border goes south from Shephem to Riblah to the east of En, and continues along the slopes east of the Sea of Galilee. The border then follows the Jordan River and ends at the Dead Sea. This is your land with its 4 borders. Moses then commanded the people of Israel, "This is the land, divide up the inheritance by lot." God has ordered it to be given to the 9½ tribes. The tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have already received their inheritance. the 2 tribes and the half-tribe got their inheritance east of Jordan Jericho, facing the sunrise. God spoke to Moses, "These are the men who will be in charge of distributing the inheritance of the land, Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun. Assign 1 leader from each tribe to help them in distributing the land. Assign these, Caleb son of Jephunneh from the tribe of Judah, Shemuel son of Ammihud from the tribe of Simeon, Elidad son of Kislon from the tribe of Benjamin, Bukai son of Jogli, leader from the tribe of Dan, Haniel son of Ephod. Leader from the tribe of Manasseh son of Joseph, Kemuel son of Shifton, leader from the tribe of Ephraim son of Joseph, Elizaphan son of Parnach, leader from the tribe of Zebulun, Paltiel son of Azan, leader from the tribe of Issachar, Ahiyad son of Shalomi. Leader from the tribe of Asher, Pedahel son of Ammihud, leader from the tribe of Naphtali. These are the men God commanded to hand out the assignments of land inheritance to the people of Israel in the country of Canaan.